Welcome back. Some more parts have arrived, so it's time for the handlebars. So we have our P clamps all lined up as per Triumph service bulletin. So basically all that bit goes above the yokes and the hemispherical washers and nuts go below the yokes. We have our little metal sleeves which fit inside the clamps to reduce down to the size of the bars. We have a new set of handlebars which are not the correct ones because my parts people didn't have the right ones in stock and I couldn't be bothered waiting, so these are actually the slightly earlier ones. The lift and pullback is pretty similar. These are perhaps an inch or two narrower, which I don't think is a bad thing, to be perfectly honest. And then to go on the bars, we have our cleaned up levers, and then we have our switch gear, which I have polished up a bit to make it a little bit nicer. All the wiring inside is perfect, all the soldering's bang on, everything functions as it should do, so they're going straight back on. I can't imagine there's a problem with them. The cable is discoloured slightly with time, but given the rest of the bike, I don't necessarily see that as a problem. I will have to check the wiring diagram to make sure which side is which, because I think we've got different colours. Yes, we obviously have. And then somewhere I have some grips, which are your traditional barrel-shaped, cushioned, fairly bog-standard grips for most British bikes at the time. So they can go on. I also have a front brake cable, so we'll fit that and then adjust the brakes like I mentioned in the last video. And that's pretty much it for the moment, I think. So we'll get on with that. So the first job is to fit these, which is very straightforward. I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-seize where to pass through the yoke and then nip them up, and then we'll move on to fitting the bars. Right, so we have the P-clips with the washers set up correctly, so they'll just drop through there, which is good. It's all a bit loose at the minute because we need the sleeves and things to tighten them up. I'll just put the nuts on underneath loosely for a second. I'm going to have to go in front of you for that bit, so I'm just going to put the nuts on. I'll bring you back when we move on to the next bit. Right, that's in place. The nuts are still loose underneath to give me some wiggle room should I need it. And then we have to fit our little sleeves. We need a pair in each. Let me just put that in there for a second so I'll fiddle about with this. Yeah, we need one in each side. There we go. Tight. Right, these are slightly tighter than I was expecting. Let me find a better screwdriver. Tappy time. Taking care not to touch the bars. There we go, lovely. Yep, that's them even, lovely, great. So, we have a bolt. And then I'll do exactly the same on the other side. Right, that's tightened up. Clamps are evenly spaced. The bars are roughly where I want them to be, I think. Final adjustment will take place when I'm got the tank on and get the riding position sorted out. The thing I have thought about suddenly then is I still need to fit another one of these here, and hopefully there's enough room to get that nut off, otherwise the bars are going to be coming off again, which would be a bit of a pain. Should be alright. We shall carry on the assumption that everything will be alright. So next up I think we'll find out where the rubber grips go. Right, everyone has their own ideas on how to get grips on. I just very lightly lubricate the end and go for it and then worry about it if it doesn't work. There is a way around that which I will show you, but we'll try it. Tight. That's it, so. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Well, that's good. Yep, that's all the way down. Lovely. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. Right. So now we have to identify our switchgear sides. So I shall look in the manual. Right, the other grips on our throttle side, which again went on very easily. I haven't got any throttle cables, but I'm going to put the chrome surround on anyway, on the basis that I need to space the handlebar switches and the stuff on, so I'll just loosely attach that for the minute, because it's going to have to come off to fit the cables obviously. It's not a big deal to loosen it up again when I need to. Right, so we sort out the electrics. Right, handlebar switch is on. 4 screws. That needs more of a polish, which I will do shortly. I didn't realise I still had some muck in there, but anyway. I also forgot that this handlebar's upside down, as it were, because that opening with the slot should be on the underside. For some reason this bar, although thinking about it, sorry, let me just start that again. Thinking about it, the switchgear is also reversible, so maybe to save money they only made one type of each, and then you could reverse them for either side, clutch and brake, I don't know. Anyway, that's the way it was, that's the way it's going back. There's nothing else to add on this side now. I'll have to get the cable clips out and find out where that wire goes, but we shall do that in a minute. So the next thing will be to fit the brake cable. Because I can, and also it's another thing out of the way. So let me just go and find my new brake cable. Right, so we have the brake cable sleeve to go in. Adjusting sleeve. And it's the correct cable with the brake light switch, which is there. I'll just feed it through the clip at the bottom first. No, I won't, because that's very tight. Okay, let's leave that for a second. Standard fitment at the handlebar end, nothing unusual there. It would help if we got the handle. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten a bit. What have I forgotten? Oh, there it is. No, it's not just slid down. So that barrel goes in there. That goes in there through the sleeve. That goes there. So I will now have to turn you off, as we'll have to move down the bike and try and find out exactly how it runs, because I can't remember. Okay, I think I've got it. right up top. If not, I can sort that out. It was the bottom part which caused me a problem when I was taking it apart, if you recall. Very dusty. But I now know how it's all meant to go together and how it's come apart. So first of all, there is a tubular spacer block, which is a fat end and a thin end, which goes in there. Obviously the fat end has to face that, which we'll give a little bit of copper slip to. And feed it through, in theory. There we go. Good. And then we have a spring which sits between the two. And then the bottom lug, just another bit of grease on, also has a fat end and a thin end. So this time the fat end is going to trap your cable end like that, which is already a bit tight. So I'm going to undo it up at the handlebars to give myself more free play. Right, there we go, lots more play. Right, so the spring goes back like that. You have a washer on either side of your sleeve. So that has to go through, and this is going to be slightly awkward, isn't it? Let me see if I can move myself around a little bit first, hold on. Right, let's try that again with a bit more slack everywhere. So, we need the spacer like that. So it's going to have to go through there. Oh, tell you what, let's put that in there first. Where it doesn't actually want to go. Now then, that's... Oh. No wonder I was struggling earlier. Right, so we have a brand new cable. And that end there is meant to fit in there. And guess what? It doesn't. Right, turning off again. I'm going to take the cable off and try and ease that down with the file. What a pain. Right, under macro lens, I'll just give you an idea what's going on. So that is double-ended. So you've got the side of the cable come through, and then the side that traps it. So that barrel should fit into that hole. Which is how it works. And as you can see, not even close. So I'm going to have to find a way of evenly sanding that round until it fits in there, and then try fitting the brake again. Right, I've ground that round with a Dremel, and it now fits inside there perfectly. Very slight drag, which is what you want. That's as far in as it goes, which is correct because it's butted up to the internal step. I don't know if you see the internal step, which is halfway. I don't know if you can get that. Can you see that line? Yeah, which is halfway inside the ferrule, for want of a better word. So that will now work. That's had quite a lot taken off it, which is disappointing. But anyway, It is what it is, and nothing I can do about it. But anyway, I've just very lightly held the spring back. We have our ferrule 2 washers. So it's got to be washer in there, wire through there, which it doesn't want to go because it's got the grips on, like so. This isn't going well. Hey, by gum. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? When we can find the washer. Right. Wire, washer, ferrule the right way around, like so. Then second washer, that should push through. Like that. There we go. Right. Maybe we're going to attach it up top, and then we can adjust everything. Right, there we are in up top. So we can carry out some basic adjustments. I'll start with the wheel end, I think, which we shall have a look at now. Right. I have centralised the wheel by loosening them slightly, spinning it, applying the brake, which is very weak at the minute obviously because nothing's adjusted. And now we're going to adjust it at the wheel end and take the rest out of the cable. Oh, so we're not, because my torch has just died. Try again. No, there it is, we're back. Right. Let's try and find the adjusters. There we are. A bit further round than I thought. Right. Just binding. Try this one. Got to go in front of you here, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, so I'll turn you off. Right, that's the brake adjusted at the wheel end. And without touching this, we've got a nice lever action. So, obviously, I'll have to readjust it when it's back on the road and actually done a few miles. But we have a good, strong, short travel twin leading shoe brake. So we'll see how good it is. So I'll now mount the left hand handlebar. No need to show you that because it's exactly the same as this one, just upside down. The choke lever's a bit stiff, but luckily it comes apart. You have the base section, you have a wavy washer, you have your actual operating lever, you have your decorative top and a large screw. So I'm just going to clean all that up, lubricate it, and that can go on the bars as well. Again, I won't show you bolting it on, it's quite simply held by the second half of the bracket and 2 screws, so there's nothing very technical about it. But at least you've seen it apart, so you know what I'm doing. The mounting brackets arrived, which is good. But, as I suspected and mentioned earlier, either in this video or an earlier video, I can't remember which, but I certainly mentioned it, I was concerned I wouldn't be able to get that off with the handlebars in place. And guess what? I was right. Luckily, I was able to loosen the 2 P-bolt clamp nuts under the yoke. Didn't have to take them off, just loosen them all the way off, and then there's enough to slide that in, followed by that and tighten it up. So let's have a quick look at our instruments and then we'll pop them into place. So they're cleaned up really well, I'm very happy with them. The Speedo's still got its original little sticker on saying about pulling the trip shaft. The tacho has a couple of minor discolorations, but they're on the inside of the glass. And I'm not taking the bezel off just to get rid of them, they are really minor. The rubber cups have got some sign of deterioration with age, but not enough to put me off reusing them, given the look we are now going for of being a nice, clean, tidy original bike rather than well, it never was going to be a concours bike, but rather than replacing all the chrome, etc. We just want it to look neat, tidy, as if it's a very clean Survivor, really. So I'm quite happy to reuse them. So they will get popped in once I've found the little bulb holders, which should be knocking about in one of the boxes, and I'll have to find some bulbs to fit them with. And there they are in place. I must say I do find the Smith's instruments very attractive. Everything's still loose at the minute because it'll be final positioning will take place when I've got the seat on and I'm sitting looking at them to find out the best place for me. But there they are, they're in. As I say, the rubbers are slightly cracked, but sound enough for reuse. I might just put a little black blob of sealant in there so you can't see it when you're riding. I may not, I haven't decided. The wiring for the bulbs is in place. I've checked the bulbs, they work. So that just needs to be fed through and connected to the loom. And while we're talking of the loom, when I last left you, none of it had been connected up, and now it has. There are a couple of wires which don't match, but I think I have them in the right place, I think. I didn't bother showing you that because I will be waiting for the arrival of the battery and also the thing I'm going to use to replace the Xenon diode. And then once I've wired all that up, we will then finish off the wiring, all the connections, check it all works, and I'll do a video of that when I'm doing it and you'll see it then. But I think everything is connected correctly at the minute. We'll find out, won't we?